When it comes to blogging, there are some other plugins that I recommend that are more specific to bloggers and things that they want to do. Now, one note I want to make before we go too far is you need to be careful of the number of plugins that you use to run your website. The less you have, the better. The more that you have, the more it slows down your website. It'll affect your SEO, and the more conflicts you have potential for having. Each of these plugins will use a form of JavaScript and CSS and things like that. For the most part, they play well together. But again, the more that you have, the more chance are that there is something that may conflict. Not each of these are built by expert programmers. You may get one or two that kind of sneak in there that are just built by average people who maybe don't have the best intentions or are just not the best programmers, and they will conflict with other things. So definitely be careful of that and definitely limit the number that you use. So with that being said, here are a couple other plugins that I like to use as a blogger. Some you can even use this as a regular website, but again, a little bit more specific to bloggers. So I'll say add new. And it's actually one of the ones that are called out right here. It's called Jetpack by WordPress. I'm not going to go all the way through it right now because what you need to do is you first install it and then you connect it to a WordPress.com account. So you'll have to sign up with WordPress.com. You don't have to use it. You just need to have that username. And what it does is it gives you all sorts of really cool analytics about your website, telling you where people are coming from, what posts people are going to, the number of visitors, all that kind of stuff. It will also give you all sorts of additional widgets, things in the sidebar of your website, pop-up builders, all sorts of really cool options. I think there's even a paid version of it now where you can get it to back up your website off-site and do all sorts of other things too. So Jetpack is really kind of like a Swiss Army tool of plugins where it can give you all sorts of really cool added functionality to your website. A lot of bloggers use it. And there's a lot of functions that you can turn on and off within it. So play around with it and definitely, turn off anything that you're not using within it because it will slow the site down a little bit because there are so many features and it is such a big plugin. But it's a great plugin for the different things that you could be doing. Another one that I like to use, and this is, we'll do a kind of a sample search right here for, I don't know the exact name of it, so it's going to be social share. Okay, what I want to do is I want to have icons that are at the bottom of my blog post and kind of allow people to share my blog post if they like it. So there's a whole bunch of options, as you can see, because I just typed in a keyword. I want to go through like what I would go through if I didn't know exactly what I was looking for here. So as you can see, I just typed in a keyword and it came up with however it decides to display these things. I think it's maybe by, I don't know if it's a rating or what. So you, maybe just by keyword, probably in the title. And you can see if one of the first things I look at is the number of stars it gets, which can be a little bit deceiving because you want to see like, how many people are actually voting for that. And then how many people are actually using it or have actively installed it. So for this one, we've got 200,000 installs and like pretty much all 5-star ratings here. These guys have 60,000 with a lot of good stars. So really any of these, I'd say in the first 2-3 rows that you're looking at here would be a great option. But you know what? I really don't know what I'm looking for here. This is the first time I've looked for this plugin. I want to see maybe more of what it looks like or, read a little bit more about it. So what you can do is you can click on the More Details button here and it comes with a pop-up that's going to show you some of the information about it. A lot of times I like to go to screenshots so you can kind of see what am I going to get into here. Is this really what I want? Oh, this is kind of cool. There's some different styles of buttons that I could add. Description looks pretty easy to do. It's got really good reviews. So that's a good possibility. I don't know what this one is. I'll click on More Details for this one. Here's some screenshots. Again, this is kind of cool. It's got those little buttons with account numbers next to them. I don't know. That's kind of cool. And you can go through and do that for all these different ones here. And once you find the one that you do like, you just simply click Install Now like we have for all the others. So I'll say Install Now. And then activate. And keep in mind, just like I always say about the themes, the plugins are always going to work a little bit differently. When you install a plugin, see this one's still thinking up here. When you install a plugin, it may show in the sidebar over here. It may get hidden underneath settings or underneath tools, underneath appearance or something like that. So if you don't see it right away, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll go to plugins. And I'll see my installed plugins. And I'll go ahead and scroll down and say, okay, so here's the settings. You can usually, most of these will have a settings option, and they'll go right to the plugin. And then it'll kind of highlight where you're at so you know where to find it next time. So that one now turned red. I know this plugin has its own little call out on the left hand side, and it looks like this one just walks me right through which icons do I want to show on my website. Just do Facebook and Twitter. So that's cool. I'll keep that on. This is for premium. Looks like you can do a paid version of this. We'll stick with the free one for now. Yeah, that all looks good. Cool. Save all settings. Now you can read through this one. I'm just kind of doing this one a little bit quickly. I've actually used this one before and I like it. But so now within the, if I've done this right, within the blog post itself, oops, I didn't finish adding it properly here. Oh, where shall they be displayed? Show icons after post. There we go. So I'll save that. And again, just kind of doing this fast for examples. You can choose your own. There's a whole bunch there to choose from. Yeah, it's still not showing up there. So again, I got to go through each of these steps here for it to be displayed properly. I'm just trying to knock this out quickly for you so you can see. But there were the option where you could choose what they actually look like. There we go. So here's all the different options. So that's kind of cool. Shared dark, shared light. That's kind of fun. Black grunge looks like I can pay to upload to do those. So I'll save that. So there's all my plugins and things like that. One other one that you may want to do, and I talked about Jetpack as being the showing you all the different analytics, but really you want to use Google Analytics as well, maybe either in tandem with or in replacement of Jetpack, because you can get a lot more detailed information from Google Analytics, and there are a whole bunch of different ways that you can add your Google Analytics. We'll go through that more specifically here in the next video, but a plugin that I would recommend for that is if we went to add new, there's a great plugin called Monster Insights. See this fun little icon right there. You can see it's been downloaded by over 1 million people. It's got a pretty good rating, and say install now. And again, you don't like this one, try a different one. But there are some cool options within this we'll get into when we get into the Google Analytics portion of this and getting into some of the advanced SEO. But those are kind of the core ones that I would recommend right now. If you ever want to look for other ones, there are some great places to do it. You can simply Google WordPress plugin and then the keyword of what you're looking for. You may find what you're looking for. Some people sell plugins from their website. There's also another website that I use called CodeCanyon.net. And here we can go into WordPress and we can see all sorts of plugins that they sell here. These are, you know, anywhere from $5 to $40, I would say, that they range from, and they have all sorts of great integration. These are actually pretty well filtered out from any kind of, you know, crap plugins. And these are all very good ones. You can see ratings on some of these. Looks like this one adds functionality to allow for Coinbase into your shopping cart for WooCommerce. We'll get into all that a little bit later on here, but some great options for plugins, a whole bunch of free ones. Start there. If you're still not finding what you're looking for, check out a site like this or just simply Google it.